I'm a survivor.
I'm Jeff Varner from Survivor's Australian Outback in Cambodia. You know, when Abby's acting up, Gandhi is storming off, or Deb is looking for rocks somewhere, you are exactly where you need to be. Oh my God, this is delicious. Who needs food when you've got Dwayne and David? This is Survivor Talk with D&D.
So if you feel me, put your hands there. Put your hands
Hello, everybody. This is Survivor Talk with D&D, and I'm Dwayne.
Oh, I was hoping it was Cass, but this is David.
Sorry, David. We're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And so welcome to our recap, discussion, and feedback show for episode 4 of Survivor, Kaôh Rōng. Thanks to everybody who's watching on our live chat room, stwdd.com/live. Enjoy the chat room. You never know who might just jump in and start chatting with you. Sometimes current survivors jump in under aliases. Sometimes you never know. But also, let's see what else I was going to say to you. I don't remember. So anyway, what's going to happen tonight? What do we have in store? We are going to read Colton Cumby's heartfelt reaction and revelation and reevaluation based on last night's.
Why don't you just try that again? Do the whole thing.
Yeah. We will read Colton Cumby's heartfelt reevaluation. Yes. We will also recap and discuss the episode. We will tackle our listener feedback. We will look at iTunes reviews. We will always do the fun Mikko challenge. And of course, the D&D Survivor Challenge results. Are those in yet? I haven't seen them come through, David.
I haven't seen them either. All
right. Shayna, if you're watching, she's probably trying to do it instead of watching the show. She's so amazing. Gosh, I feel terrible. Anyway. Hey, remember, coming Sunday, April 3rd, Kelly and Friends, a patron podcast. What is it? It's a call-in show for all of our D&D patrons. Kelly is inviting a couple of Survivor friends, including her dad, Dale, Jeff Varner, and one more for an open conference call with any D&D patron that wants to participate. It's a free call. Even if you're international, I will have an international number for you to dial in, and you can do that. Also, we're going to set it up. I'm going to work on this week, where we will be doing a private hangout where you'll be able to watch it while you're on the phone. How you like that? Pretty cool.
Sweet.
Why? Because it's our best patron perk to date, and it's for all of our patrons as of March 30th. So if you're not a patron yet and you want to watch this, you got to become a patron by March 30th, and you have to be active, which means you can't do a patron and then go, oh, I'm sorry, my credit card didn't go through. No, that don't work. So anyway, we'll save all our other Patreon and Amazon talk to the end of the podcast for those of you who like us enough to stay for it all. So, David, think we'll do any Better Call Saul or 100 talk at the end?
Probably not. I haven't watched 100 in a while, and you're still getting started on season 2. And
halfway through, but
are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was sick Tuesday and I missed work, and then I went back to the hospital for 2 days, and now I'm starting to feel it again.
All right. Well, then we won't be doing any of that stuff, but we did do some of it on our D&D Extra, which I'll tell you about at the end of the podcast. So, all right. You ready, David?
Sure.
Let's do this. Man, episode 4. Initial thoughts. 120 degrees is very hot. And digging through sand is very hard.
This is why you don't let your kids sit on the end of the beach on the sand and dig for an hour for no reason whatsoever without drinking something or covering them or doing something.
Yeah. And in honor of the show, I'm going to drink a V8 energy drink to make sure that I don't pass out during the podcast tonight.
Oh, Cat! I got Cass on the line. She's ready to come on just as soon as you fall over.
Is she? Nice.
No,
probably is actually.
I've got my Super Bowl Slurpee cup full of water. So
yeah, she really enjoyed it last week.
So did I. It was fun. Although I gotta say, I don't want your job. I don't like having to talk because I have to talk. I like being able to respond.
Finally, some respect.
Yeah, you can have it.
Okay. How different this game would have been had Alicia not shared her idol clue with Sydney and found it and gotten it.
She even admitted to trying to cut down the tree.
Oh, really?
Before they could get to it, and she was told to stop. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know.
Where did you see that? Where did you see that?
It was one I got to randomly read a few things today. A couple of good articles. Andy Deerhart's article was good, but one of her exits, and I'm trying to remember I don't remember who it was, but she mentioned she tried a lot of things to get that idle key thing down, and once they found it, she said, I tried cutting the tree down, but they wouldn't. They stopped me, and so
those pesky producers, wouldn't even let her cut the tree down. Gosh. All right, those are my initial thoughts. Do you have any?
I had a buddy text me a little while ago and said, that was kind of a boring episode, wasn't it? And I know he was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
And I gave him my analogy, and I think I gave you earlier. This was like going to a hockey game where a fight breaks out 10 minutes into the game, lasts for a half an hour, where you have to sit and go through it. And then the referees penalize everybody but 3 players on each team, and they decide we're just going to play for 10 minutes and be done.
A little 3-on-3.
A little 3-on-3, which is very exciting to watch. I've seen it a few times, but this was just quite. And then I thought, this is probably 3 days that Jeff Probst is very proud of for the way his production team stepped up, and him during the during the event. He was seemed to be very much in control. Very much an organizer, and so he's probably proud of how it went. At the same time, it's probably 3 days he'd never want to go through again.
Right.
And at the same time, it's probably 3 days where he thinks are the peak of Survivor. Yeah. So it was just, I told you last night, my initial reaction I gave you last night, and like, wow, I'm not sure how I want to even approach this episode. We've never seen an episode like this before.
Right.
It just deflated the sales, and the end just kind of was predictable. It was going to happen eventually, but that was tough.
Yeah. All right. So that's all of your initial thoughts?
Yeah.
All right. Previously on, Debbie spearheaded the revolt, leaving Peter at the bottom. Is that pretty much, you think that's fair? She spearheaded it all?
Now you're really going to lead this conversation tonight, because like I told you, I wrote up some really good notes at lunch today while I was watching, and forgot to email them to myself so I could have those notes. So I have no notes for this podcast, but I do remember writing how good Debbie looked in that first segment. How, she got credit kind of last week for the boot, and she got good credit this week for the boot. She's so calm and cool. And what does Peter do? Peter violates the rule of, after you get blindsided.
Oh yeah.
And you go back to camp and you be remorseful. You compassionate. You try to get along, or you could just go lay out on the beach somewhere and get away from everybody and just segregate yourself even more, separate yourself, and then who goes to him?
Debbie does.
I know. What a great social tool that she used to go out there and just look, when I heard it was you, I want to make sure you stayed. We need you. We want you in this tribe, yada, yada. Now he still says he's going to vote them all off, but at least he might remember that Debbie came to him, and told him. Whether it was true or not, she still reached out, and I liked it. It was good for her, not as good for Peter.
Right. Okay, so you decided to skip on through previously on and hit night 8.
Oh, she said she was the mastermind. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to the first segment.
Well, I don't want to bury one of the leads here, and that is that we said we were going to read what Colton Cumby wrote. Colton, we talked to Colton today. As you know, we have always liked Colton and reached out to Colton and have had him on our show several times and things like that. We really enjoy having him on. And he's part of our Facebook group. And last night, after watching the show, he got on our Facebook group and wrote just a really compelling 2 paragraphs about how the show affected him. And we asked him if he wanted to come on tonight and say that to the Survivor world, and he can't. He literally is unable to be on the show tonight because he's traveling and can't do it. So he said, why don't y'all read it? So what we're going to do tonight is David's going to read what Colton said, and we're pretty much just going to leave it at that. But we want, I don't know, David may say something, but we want to make sure that y'all get to hear, because this was just so good. So David, go ahead. This is what Colton wrote on our Facebook group.
Tonight's episode made me completely reevaluate my approach to Survivor, specifically how I handled things in One World. I mean, Bill and Christina annoyed me, sure, but no one should ever be treated that way, ever. I was wrong. No ifs, ands, or buts. Seeing what happened tonight showed me that there are no excuses. There is no justification. People are people, and at the end of the day, it's how we treat people that we don't necessarily agree with or care for that speaks to who we are. I was not a good person in one world, but I want to be. I sincerely hope Jason never has to sit and watch anyone treat either of his daughters like he treated Alicia. I hope Scott and Jason see how they treated Alicia and have the same realization. I also admire Alicia's determination more than anything. She possesses everything I lacked in both seasons: sheer will and determination. She's a bad A, point blank. She might not be a rocket scientist, but she's tough as heck. She endured not only the physical turmoil of Survivor, but also emotional abuse for 9 days at the hands of her tribe. I wish I had an ounce of her attitude and determination when I played.
So there you go. I thought that was very insightful.
Yeah, that was good from Colton. I mean, he was really right after the episode. We have a thrice as nice chat and with Kelly and Colton, and we just sometimes we yell at each other for making a pick that was bad. You know, we went after Colton for the Liz pick, and went after me for Jennifer, but Colton just came on and said, "Wow, he's just having a hard time." And I don't know if it was he went from, you remember, kind of jokingly saying, "I don't want another Caleb to play," right, to liking Caleb. He liked Caleb a lot. Who didn't like Caleb? You know, and then with our players doing well, not doing well, either way, just last night, I think between the medical evac and just the situation with Alicia, it was just a really hard episode. And I messaged you this morning. I said, "Hey, we should invite him to come on. Sounds like he's got something he wanted to say," and he wanted to. He wanted to come on, but it just couldn't work out.
So there you go, my friends. All right, night 8, Brains. As you said, Pino went off by himself. What the heck? He goes off and lays in the sand.
This is a guy that, to me, doesn't have a plan. I mean, why do you do that?
Right.
What do you do? Okay, you, Dwayne, just got blindsided by your tribe. I got voted out. You are distraught. You want to quit the game because you can't imagine playing without me because you'd be lost. But you go back to camp. What's the first thing you do?
What's the first thing I do when I go back to camp?
Or first thing you say?
Well, based on the fact that he thought he was going home, means he was talked about a lot at tribal council. So first thing I do is go, "You know what, guys? I recognize everything that you said, and I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to be a team player, and, you know, a new leaf."
We've heard that several times. Thank you guys for keeping me around. I appreciate the second chance. And that's exactly, we've heard that many, many times. And that's exactly what you need to say. Get yourself back ingratiated to the tribe. Don't go off. I mean, and he may not have seen it all, but he just goes off into the beach to sit and sulk or lie down and sulk. And I was surprised. And there's Debbie, calm, cool, and collective.
Yeah. Yep. Did you catch this? This is what Peter said. And I thought, maybe wrong there. He goes, "We don't have a strong tribe anymore, physically or strategically." I thought, seems to be pretty strong strategically to me.
Wow. Wow. That's pretty bad. Just because your buddy left.
Yeah.
You think you're the P brains now instead of the brains.
That's right.
That's kind of harsh.
That's, little.
I'd love to hear some Neil or Debbie's comment after hearing that on the show.
Yeah. And then he says, "Once there's a merge or a swap, I'm going to take them out one by one." So when a merge and a tribe happen, or when a tribe swaps happen and when merge happens, if he's still around, man, there's no Brains loyalty for him at all.
No, but if he gets on a tribe with Deb and Joe, or Deb and Aubrey, or Neil and Deb, they're going to immediately tell everybody what he's like, and how he tried to turn on everybody, how he's a narcissist, and how just the way he is. And he's going to have to do some social smooching to get along with whoever he's working with.
Smooching? He's got to kiss some people. Did you mean?
Was it smoozing?
Smoozing, maybe?
Smoozing? That'll work.
Yeah. Social smooching. Nice. All right. So just in case you were wondering what the emphasis of this episode is going to be, Day 9 Reward Challenge. There is no break. Just straight to it. Love the challenge, but wish they had left the flags in that they had done with the Dream Team.
Oh my goodness. I went back. This season, I'm trying not to be spoiled, unless you watch any next time on, but I didn't watch the challenge preview for this that Mike posted on our Facebook page. If you want to catch anything that CBS puts out, anything that's a preview or anything, go to our Facebook page, join it, and you'll see all the stuff loaded on there.
Yeah.
You could have told me that I had the sun in my face. But anyway, But I went back today and watched the preview, and wow, I mean, not only were these people rested, likely fed, staying in sheltered places, but they're also running. I'm not sure if the circle was smaller. It did look a little smaller, but I'm not sure if it was or not. But once I saw those flags, are you kidding me? Really? Just dig here for the flags? Oh, look how fast they got it. We got to take the flags out.
Yeah.
Yeah, really? And make the pit bigger and deeper.
Yeah, either that or they never intended to use the flags, and they did that just to speed up because, I mean, really, they already know how digging in the sand's going to go, so they don't need that to last. They just need to get them to the rolling of the balls, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, man, that
was a lot. So, but anyway, I read somewhere that it was 120 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And the hottest it's ever been. In fact, I think I read Caleb said that Probst may have said that it's the hottest ever on that day. And dude, that equals some hot sand.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Hot sand.
We play sand soccer every year, and we once had a year where nobody could walk on the sand barefoot.
Yeah,
I mean, you had to wear socks, you had to wear tape, you had to wear stuff. Right. The sand sock people made a fortune selling their sand socks.
Yeah.
But it was that hot. I've never been back for a summer that bad.
Yeah.
I've always been able to walk since then, but it's and it wasn't anywhere near 120 degrees.
It wasn't 120. That's right.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine how hot that sand was.
That's right. So, and did you see that they were, Anna was surprised that Liz got voted off. Didn't see that coming. So, and they're playing for cooking stuff. At some point during the hour of digging, I'm like, you know what? To heck with the cooking stuff.
Yeah, he said, and for second place, just some spices and stuff, because even coconut tastes better with salt and pepper. I'm like, you know what coconut tastes better with? Chocolate and almonds. That's right. What coconut tastes better with.
That's right.
Forget salt and pepper. Give me some chocolate and almonds.
Yeah, that's right. Peter Paul didn't make a coconut and salt and pepper candy bar. That's right.
That just didn't seem worth it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know. But I can't imagine.
So if I'm looking at how to dig up the balls, I'm thinking, all right, maybe we start off in 3 different corners, but there's got to be a systematic way of attacking that circle, or you're just going to end up digging in circles. And it's going to take an hour, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised, and maybe that's why the Brains got it done first, because they probably did take a systematic approach. I don't know.
Maybe they all did for the first 30 minutes until they got into the second 30 minutes.
Well, I don't know.
realized that they'd piled sand on the spots they hadn't dug yet.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. Who knows where it's going to be? I mean, it sounded like Scott thought he had a system where he was finding them. Was he leaving them in the middle or finding them in the middle?
I don't know.
It sounded like he said they're all right here. So I guess it was the two.
Yeah, I don't know. So Caleb said it was about an hour of digging.
Mm-hmm.
So Brains Tribe wins and Joe gets medical for Deb. All right. So, I mean, I don't really care about the whole thing. We're going to talk about the Scott and Alicia stuff in just a minute. All right. Mm-hmm. So Brains Tribe wins and Joe gets medical for a Deb. Right. So what I read, I went ahead and read Dalton Ross's interview with Jeff. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, since they were already done, Brains Tribe he just let the challenge go on since they were already done. They didn't need to stop the challenge because Deb needed help. That the other teams could keep going. So he let them go on. And then later on, Debbie says, heat stroke is like being roasted alive. That's
fire from the inside. I mean, fire on the inside burning out. That's
I can't even imagine that. So, all right. So let's handle. Let's tackle.
Well, did you think at all that they should stop the challenge?
No.
See, I didn't either. I know there's a debate about that. There's people saying they should have stopped it for medical reasons. I'm like, Joe did absolutely 110% the right thing by calling medical, because the most they're going to do is come over and Deb's going to say, I'm fine. Just pour the water on my head. I'm good to go. She was still talking and cognizant. She was looking in bad shape, but absolutely called medical. The most thing you can do is push them away and say, I'm staying, but if anything, call them for your health and safety. And I completely agree. The other 2 tribes are still going at it. There's no reason to stop anything. So I agree that, I mean, it was tough. It was hot. People were going to be tired and hot, but still, why stop the challenge?
And there was no reason to think anybody else was going to get heat stroke. I mean,
no signs yet, right?
I mean, it was hot, but you don't stop the challenge. No, I don't think you should stop the challenge.
Yeah.
No. So, all right, let's tackle Scott's handling of Alicia first. All right. So Probst says the only thing Brawn tribe hasn't done is give up.
Mm-hmm.
And Alicia's moving sand and she tries to be an encourager. All right. And no matter how you look at it, all right, and I'm not taking sides on this, all right? I'm not saying Scott and Jason are horrible or Alicia's horrible. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to try to look at this objectively, okay? So that's the approach I'm going to take. No matter how you look at it, Scott's response to her is sarcastic and condescending, all right? Keep cheerleading. It's what you're best at. I don't care what he says later on. He wasn't sincerely telling her to keep cheerleading. That's not what he was doing. He was being condescending, right? I mean, am I wrong? That's certainly how it sounded to everybody.
No, I wouldn't say you're wrong. I think she could have approached it better. I don't think her comment was necessarily fair, but at the same time, I would say his response was 120 degrees, tired out your backside. I'm sweating my head off here. I can hardly breathe, because the first thing Jason said was take a breath. Take a breath. He could see. And so it was a frustrated, at my wit's end right now comment just to get her to stop talking to me about, because she called him out by name.
Okay.
She said Scott.
True. But here's the difference. Jason was also ridiculously hot and ridiculously tired, but he didn't demean her. He didn't talk condescendingly to her. Yeah, he got mad and he said, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but just shut the F up and just dig. Right? Okay, that's just a guy that is frustrated, that is, look, just be quiet and dig. It's not you're an idiot or all you're good for is just cheerleading. He didn't demean her or talk down to her or try to break her. He just spoke out of frustration. Scott did too, but I just think Scott took it to another level.
Well, I don't think Scott tried to break her or anything.
Well, I just think it was encouraging.
But at the same time, you've got somebody standing there kicking sand with their feet when you've just pulled 2 bags out of probably a foot deep sand, and she's basically got a broom moving sand around, and she says, "Don't give up. We can do this." You know,
right?
I can't say what I would have said. I don't know, but what I think she could have done, because this is a great failure. Sorry, Alicia fans, but this is a great failure of Alicia, is that she never seemed to try and ingratiate herself into this tribe.
Right.
Everything she said was argumentative. It was right at you in your face. Yep. And when she got back to camp, it was worse.
Right.
But still, what she could have said, it's easy for me to sit back here and say this. What she could have said was, guys, you guys got 2 bags. Take a quick break. I'll keep digging. I'll keep going.
Right.
To let them know that she was not going to quit. And as soon as they felt better, to come on back in and dig.
Right.
But no, she said, don't give up, guys. Come on, Scott. We can do this.
You're right. Absolutely. You're right.
So, if she hadn't said anybody by name, they both might have said something, but I see both sides. But at the same time, I've said stuff out of frustration and heat stroke and everything. Right. Because we don't know where those guys were in that.
Right. I'm not saying that Scott shouldn't have said it. I'm not saying that Scott's bad for saying it at all. I'm just, all I'm saying is that is what he said, and that's how it was perceived. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he was a bully for it or anything. I don't particularly think he was a bully for it in that setting. So,
and you know what it was? I think we're seeing who these people are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is Scott. Scott, if you come at Scott when he's tired and been working real hard, he's probably going to come back at you.
Right.
So
absolutely.
At the same time, look, I give Alicia a lot of credit. She never set out a challenge. She got in every challenge. She was not laying down at the end of this challenge. I'll give her physically a lot of credit for playing this game. She started fire a while back, got it started, but still on the strategic and social side, she, to me, did not do as well as she could have. And this could have been one of those moments.
Right. Well, socially in this game, it is obvious that Alicia was not going to fare well and did not fare well. Right. She's got her whole tribe irritated at her. And it's because she talks a lot and she doesn't mind confrontation at all. In fact, likes it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is what I don't know. I think anybody can fit in if you start off the right way. If you change your whole attitude, you got to be somebody different
Oh,
You
sure.
can't necessarily be yourself.
Sure.
And that's where I think she missed out on the chance. I think she could have done really well. They could have seen how durable she was. Even Jennifer said the girl's got no quit in her. You know, I think they could have seen that. And if she'd have sidled up to them like Sydney did, Sydney's probably said 6 words this whole season.
Oh, I know.
And they're all been smart. And half of them are like, just sit back and listen. Don't talk. You know, if Alicia had done that, but she couldn't. Right. And more of that is pointed out later. She just couldn't do it. And that breaks on you, especially when you're losing. You're losing for the first couple challenges. It doesn't help for somebody to come back and just start talking.
No, you're absolutely right. So
thank you, Dwayne.
I agree with you. I can't disagree with you, David.
Now, that's not to say she could come back and play a completely different game. She could learn from this and come back, because I think she's going to come back.
Do you really? I don't think so.
I do. I think she was the edit she got showing that she was bullied and all this kind of stuff. I think that she's going to be on the ballot for second chance.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, more so than Jennifer, and I think Jennifer should come back.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Breaking Lost Thrones wrote, "Ugh, keep cheerleading, Dwayne. It's what you're best at." That's awesome. All right. Then they get their last bag, right? And ironically, and again, I think this is just funny. As Jason starts to roll the balls, guess who's encouraging him? Scott.
Holy shit. Oh, Scott?
No, Scott.
He turns into the cheerleader.
Yeah, he does. No, I'm just playing. Well, I'm not playing. He actually did. I just thought it was funny. So, oh, wow. All right, Caleb, just before passing out, wins second place for the beauty tribe.
Yes.
Literally just before passing out. I mean,
this was really, really interesting, and it shows who Caleb is. You know, give him full credit. When he gets into a challenge, he goes nonstop. Even when he's not rolling the balls, he's over there nonstop thinking about it, looking at it, studying it. He doesn't have a pause mode. And I wonder, I'm sure he took a break. I'm sure he took a break during the sand digging. But at the same time, you know, you saw when Jason was in the sand, as soon as they got the last one, he burst out, started untying and running, you know, and it's how different people measure things. And it's knowing how well you can push yourself. Right. Caleb pushed himself for his tribe, for himself, all the way to the end. And I did read his interview with Josh Wigler, which was really good.
That was so good.
Where he just said that he when he stopped, when the game was over and he stopped, his whole body just shut down. You know, I think they said later that his muscles had used up all the moisture that was in his body.
Well, he was to the point where he was using the moisture in his muscles. Right.
Taking it from his muscles. Yeah. They gave him credit in the hospital. Yeah. If he hadn't been so muscular, then he would have been in trouble.
Yeah. They said they probably would have lost him. And I know I had this later on, but he was in ICU for 5 days.
Yep,
5 days.
5.5.
5.5? There you go.
Yeah. On the 6th day, they let him go. Yeah.
And on the 6th day, therefore, they letteth him go.
He left.
So then
that's a long time. 5 days is a long time in the ICU.
Yeah. Oh, and then they took him back to Ponderosa, and he's like, dude, man, there's no AC, nothing. They just said, just go home. They let him go home.
He also had a family emergency.
Well, yes, very true. So he would have been leaving anyway.
Yeah, they said it's best for you just to go. Yeah.
So then we get an update on Debbie. Meanwhile, Sydney and Caleb are collapsing over in the other part of the beach.
Right.
We get our little update. And Joe goes to Caleb. The Dr. Joe. No, yeah, Dr. Joe goes to Caleb. Meanwhile, Jason is taking care of hold on. Jason just tweeted something. And it's about what we're talking about. He said, where is it, Jason? I saw it, but I don't see it. Here it is. When I found the last bag, it was like life got kicked back into us. That's what Jason just said. So there you go.
Yeah, that was that burst.
Right. All right. So, okay. Then Jason starts taking care of Sydney while Joe's taking care of Caleb. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, medical, and of course, medical goes to help her too. Now, side note here, in case anybody thinks that I'm bashing anybody, I'm not. I honestly believe that if Alicia had been in Sydney's position, that it would have been Jason at the same position helping Alicia. You know?
I cannot disagree with you.
Absolutely. Because like he said later, you know what? We may disagree with each other. We may not even like each other, but in the end, we're like family. Heck, we all argue with people in our family. But when it comes right down to it and they're sick or they're hurting, you're going to help them out. So,
yep.
Way to go, Jason, helping her out. Probst. All right, everybody on the crew is essential personnel, coolers, water, find a spot to help. Literally, this has never happened before.
Right. 3 spots.
We're talking just everybody help. Everybody help.
That was the impressive Probst. That was the field general. The guy that's just getting everybody working and everybody moving. So that was pretty good that he stayed. I'll tell you though, but I even wrote that when Probst was going back and forth between Sydney and Caleb, he was trying to talk to Caleb, but I'm not sure Caleb heard anything. But Sydney seemed to be hearing him, and she was trying to nod and respond. And then I thought he turned, but when I went back and watched, Dr. Joe tapped him. He said, "We need a helicopter."
Oh yeah,
we got.
To get to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and then we get the frightening Russell Swan moment, and it cuts to commercial.
Yeah, and the look on Jeff's face. I was like, "Wow, really?
Yeah.
You're telling me right? You're not even giving me a conversation here. You're just telling me a helicopter's got to be called."
Oh well, no. This is even before that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is before that. This is before the commercial. We get the, "Hey Caleb, oh no, boom, boom, boom," commercial.
And the air mask was not moving.
No.
At that point, Gracie looked at me and said, "Did he stop breathing?"
Yep.
I said, "I think they paused the film. I hope they only paused the film." Yeah, because it looked like he stopped.
Right. So then we come back from commercial. And they've got IV in them. They're giving them ice. They got ice cubes over them. They're putting cold stuff in them. And Jeff, just like you said, Joe looks up at Jeff and goes, "Jeff, we need a helicopter for evac," in the most serious tone.
Yep.
It was
as if he did not know he was on camera.
Yeah.
He was just flat out. We're moving to the next stage with this one.
That's
he had a.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say he had an ice block. He had something covered like a cold pack on his stomach. Then he had an ice block on top of his stomach. Then he had ice blocks under his armpits.
Oh yeah,
trying to get him back up.
Oh yeah, he was hot. And I don't just mean the way Vader girl thinks he's hot. I mean he was hot. But that's one thing I really appreciate about the medical team. Every time we've ever seen them, they don't ever look at the camera. It's not a show. They are there to help those people. And it's not about the show at all. So. Oh, Jason's wife has now tweeted me.
Uh-oh, are you in trouble? Did she tell you to keep cheerleading too?
She said, "You're a jerk. Shut up." No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I knew I liked her.
See, to Survivor Talk, to whom it may concern, this is how he would react if anyone were to bully our daughters. And let's see, he's saying, I'm not sure what she's referring to. She references a picture of him over Sydney. Here's a look back at the most intense moments from last night's unprecedented Survivor. I'm not really sure what she's talking about there, but maybe she'll clarify. So anyway, all right. Sorry about that, but y'all, if they're going to talk to us, we're going to talk to them, right?
Exactly.
So. All right, so then we get Joe to Jeff. Caleb's in the ICU for 5 days. Sydney's doing much better. And then Jeff tells Caleb he has to leave. Now, Caleb, you read the article. Didn't he say he, not even sure if he remembers him doing that or what?
I think he did hear that, and he tried to speak, but he couldn't speak, and he shook his head. And I think you could see his head move side to side. But at the same time, it wasn't enough to make a second nod. Okay. But I think he did hear that you have to go, but it was a blur. And the next thing he knew, he was on a helicopter.
Yeah. Oh, check this out. Good information in our chat room. Let's see. Well, it's going so fast I can't find it. Bruce said, D&D, do you think it was strange that Peter didn't seem to assist in any way? Vader Girl says Peter could not. M Survivor says they cannot interact with other tribes. Tina says, David, why was Peter not helping? And then Miriam said, Peter tweeted his response to this. He was not allowed.
Yeah, because I saw that tweet. He said that the ocean water is cold and would have helped the body, but he was not allowed to intervene.
Right. So there you go.
That's a great question. You got an ER doc right there.
Yeah. I bet if it came down to it, though, and like medical was like all tied up and they couldn't do anything, they might have let him do something.
Because was it Eddie when Eric Reichenbach went into trouble and Eddie stepped right up and started talking to him and started interpreting basically what was happening, and Doc's like, yeah, he's exactly right.
Yeah, I remember that. So
I
I personally,
it's the treatment part they can't let him do.
Right. I'm personally looking forward to Caleb. All right. Now I will take a little pride in saying I said before the season that I was looking forward to watching Caleb. And I thought Caleb was going to be great on the show because there's a lot of people that are on Twitter now going, I didn't like him, and now I do, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. I just want to let it be known that I liked him from the beginning.
I did too. I just didn't know how well he would do. I didn't watch Big Brother. I didn't know him socially, but he seemed like a super nice guy. And I think he's obviously a lock to come back.
Oh,
me, his last 5 minutes on this episode was Probst basically saying, you were awesome. You were better, because Probst didn't want him. I read where preseason he did not want this guy from Big Brother, and CBS insisted, and Probst was pleasantly pleased. So could we have a Team Beast Mode Cowboy versus Team Hayden in a Big Brother standoff for Survivor?
Possibly.
I know, right? A
According
crossover
to Caleb,
spectacular.
Yeah. According to Caleb, he was called 3 weeks prior to airing or to a production.
To film it. What did he say? He was down to like 8% body fat?
Yeah. I mean, the dude had no body fat on.
8% on my ankle. I got just that on my ankle. So
I got that right here. Oh, man. Anyway, Jeff talks to the beauty tribe, and obviously they are understandably distraught.
Yeah.
Especially Ty. And then Jeff gives everybody an update, and he compliments them. He's like, nobody here is calling it in. Y'all are great. You know, it was great. But then I thought Jeff asked one of the oddest questions ever. But I also think Jason did a great job of avoiding it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is it possible for you, Jason, to still vote Sydney out of this game? If I'm Jason, I'm going, really? Really, Jeff? That's the question you're going to ask me? I love the way Jason handled it. He just totally didn't answer the question and just went on, and he was a true political answer.
It was good. That was a Wentworth answer because Kelly was good at avoiding questions, and I loved it. I loved how he said, you know, when this happens, the mission takes a side, and you take care of your brother in arms, and you know, and I'm with her to the bitter end. Yep. So that was really good.
Yep. All right, and then he tells everybody, look, 9 days in, the game continues. So boom. So we're not gonna, which is what I thought. It's early in the game. They're not gonna not have an immunity challenge and an immunity.
Yeah. What about the surprise on the beauty girls? It's as if they thought, okay, Caleb's just gonna sit up. You know, Caleb is strong. He's gonna sit right up, and it's like, especially Anna. She's like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
You know, and this was
invincible.
Yeah, and this was, you know, this. You know, as much as you want to say this was part strategy because he was their number 4, at the same time, this is Caleb. This is probably the most popular guy next to Ty in the tribe, you know, because these 3 girls are tight and this is their number 4. But still, this is a human being. This is a person that is stronger than an ox that you love having around camp. And suddenly he's taken out of the game.
Yeah, that's
impossible. I completely understand why they're saying, oh, he was invincible. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
So that was something else.
And then we get a little insight into the tribal dynamic of the beauty tribe with Ty saying 3 girls and 2 guys. Now we're the target. I'm not going home with an idol in my pocket. So apparently it's kind of obvious to those guys that these 3 girls are tight.
Right. Yes. And we also know that tells us that Ty is not number 5. We were wondering if when they brought in Caleb, if they were also talking to Ty, and it would appear that they weren't. That Ty was not in that foursome. Yeah. So, and this is where editing did a good job to me with minimal time to do it in. They set up Beauty and they set up Brawn for tribal council. You know, Ty's little confessional gave us they might be going. We might see an idol tonight. So that was good. That was good for editing because otherwise this was going to go pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we go to Brains day 9. We get a little bit of Debbie talking about how Joe got her medical. Now, this is something I can completely relate to because she says, I didn't really want to call medical because it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. How many times have I been like having chest pain or something, but I don't want to go to the doctor. It's embarrassing. I don't want anybody. Isn't that stupid? But that's what we do.
Yeah. Especially guys.
Yeah, especially guys. But Debbie,
of course, I've never jumped off a roof or jumped off around a roof and broken my ankle, so I don't know what you were like then, but you probably didn't have a choice then. I think they were calling it for you.
Yes, I think so. Then we get Brawn day 9.
Hold on. I love what Debbie said in the water, talking to Arbery.
Yes.
After this game, we are friends for life. So after I vote you out, get you out of this game, we're going to be friends for life. And to me, that was like the most honest thing to come out of the whole episode. We're going to be friends for life no matter what happens. After I vote you out, we're going to be friends for life.
Yeah. All right. Day 9. Yay, we get to talk about this stuff again. Alicia confronts Scott on his comment about cheerleading. Now, this is where, like you said, sometimes you just got to learn to just leave something alone.
She failed just like Peter did. She did not go back the way she should have gone. I mean, so much to talk about. All you do is walk back and say, wow. I mean, great job, Sydney. Go to Sydney. Their favorite person.
Yeah.
They're number 3 and say, I'm so glad you pulled through that. That was really tough. And if anything, maybe throw an apology.
Yeah.
Hey, if I started something, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean for it to come out the way it did if that's what happened. And I guarantee you, Scott would have either hugged her or said, don't worry about it. It's just the stress of the game.
Right.
But no. She couldn't do it.
No. And the funny thing is, it's not that she was wrong in her point. She makes a good point. Look, it's about teamwork, and y'all aren't treating me like a teammate, right? That's her point. The problem is she won't be quiet until they go, yes, you're right. They're not going to go, yes, you're right. So you might as well stop.
See what you got to do. What you got to do. Yeah. She doesn't know stop. That's not part of the equation. What you got to do is watch the subtitles during that scene. And what Alicia really says is, I know I'm number 4, but you're treating me like number 4. You shouldn't be treating me like number 4 just because I am number 4. Stop treating me like number 4, like you're going to vote me out. I know you are, but stop treating me like you're going to vote me out next.
Okay. I like what Dale Wentworth tweeted, and he wrote, Jason and Scott were brutal, but Alicia needs to learn to stop talking, listen, and stay alive. Absolutely.
Just like that girl sleeping on the far side, trying to recover from what she just went through. And says, girl, just stop.
Yeah.
But she can't. And then I love it. Scott says, I think Jason said at first, what did he say? He said, but you can't do it. You can't just stop and listen.
Right.
And there was a part there when I heard it the second time through where he got up and walked away, which to me was the best thing to do. If something happens and you don't want to continue and it's only going to get worse, you get up and walk away.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good edit for him to see, but there was something else said that we didn't get because he said in his confessional that I lost it.
Yeah.
Or said something to the degree that I blew my top or something. And he didn't blow his top in what we saw.
No, I didn't see
there
that.
was something more to that we didn't see, but which was it instigated? Was it what was said? We don't know what was said. And this is what you people got to remember when you're picking out who you like and who you don't like. How much are you seeing?
Right.
And what are you seeing? Because what we got from the beginning was Alicia being separated. She was made to look like the weakling. We didn't get all her comments and all her actions. We just got them come out and saying she's the weakest. Right. Flat out, she's the weakest. She tries to make fire, but she's the weakest. It's so you got to take some things with a grain of salt.
Right.
But I mean, at the same time, behavior is behavior. We don't know what they went through. I've never been 9-10 days in this heat with no food, no water. I would be quite irritable if I missed breakfast one morning. Right. So we don't know, but it is what it is.
What's funny is this is all based on a very limited CBS edit. People are getting all up in arms. Like it's like there's like 2 teams, the Scott and Jason team or the Alicia team, and it's just like, stop doing that. We didn't see the 9 days of what irritated them, and we didn't see the 9 days of how they treated her, or either way around. We didn't see it all. We saw what CBS showed us. So Alicia said up front that she doesn't back down. She was raised with boxers, trash talk, etc. And, so we knew that was coming. But what's interesting is Sydney's confessional really, really reiterates what I believe and what even Dale Wentworth said. Sydney said in her confessional, I do not think Alicia's aware of pretty much anything. And I'm just like, girl, come on, just listen and pay attention. There's a time when you just need to stop. Even if you're right, you still just need to stop.
That's from somebody who spent more time with Alicia quietly than the other guys have.
Right.
She spent more time away, and she says she's not sure she's aware of anything.
Right.
So I have the privilege of having a direct message sent to me by Mrs. Jason to clarify her tweet.
Oh, okay, good.
So I'd love to read it. She says, I'm referring to people constantly saying that they'd like to see how my husband would feel if someone treated his daughters like that. That, in quotes, is supposedly bullying Alicia. I'm trying to point out that he's not what people keep accusing him of being, and he stayed by Sid the entire time until he knew she was better. He lost it because Alicia told him he did not know what sacrifice was. Ooh, we didn't get that.
No, that's definitely inside baseball right there.
You don't tell a vet who's been overseas risking his life that he doesn't know what sacrifice is.
Right.
So that could explain a little bit of the losing it. And then what does he do? He gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
So
which is a good thing to do.
Exactly. So we didn't see that from the blonde angel. We just got him commenting, which struck me as odd that he said that, and I didn't think he really blew up.
Right.
Like they said, but still, thank you, Denise, for that clarification.
Yep. All right, let's move on. We're done. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more thing I want to say.
Travel's over.
Just one more thing that I want to say. Tina wrote on our chat, I think it's a good lesson for people that Alicia stood up to them, not to just take it and be weak. You're right that people should stand up for themselves. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but there comes a point when you realize, okay, I have stood up for myself. That's all I need to do. I don't have to push it until they agree with me or until they repent or whatever. So that's where I'm coming from.
And at the same time, you have to know when to stop in the game of Survivor.
Yes.
Standing up for yourself is one thing, but when you are number 4 and even Probst tells you you're number 4, there has to be a point where you stop and you've got to find a way back into the game. And arguing is not going to get you back into the game. I don't know if she was trying to get Scott to go off and say, I just quit. I can't handle this anymore, because that was not going to happen. Jason was not letting Scott walk away from that game. Not going to. And Scott would have done the same thing for Jason, and City would have done the same thing for them. Those 3 were rock solid. And I don't know if she had an ulterior motive, but it wasn't going to happen.
All right, let's get to the immunity challenge. Let me see here. Just a second. Yep. Immunity challenge. Race through the jungle to get puzzle pieces. Then race to the ocean to get puzzle pieces. And to complete a snake puzzle. What they didn't show you was all the water sprinklers in the jungle to cool everybody off. They didn't show you that.
with the sitting back in the with the water hoses spraying them as they ran through.
Yeah.
Peter, why is Peter running through that same spot 5 times?
Why are they in the jungle so long? And why are they coming back with little Dixie cups? What's going on? All right, Brains is the last to the puzzle, but Peter rocked it, and they win first place.
Now,
way to go!
If you read Neil's tweet, about how Peter saved Brains, Neil will let you know. I think I'm not sure the exact number. I want to say it was 85% done when Peter came on.
Oh, well,
so it's not like Peter fixed the puzzle.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
They sure made it look like Peter came in and saved the day.
Yeah, there you go. Editing.
You're right. I don't like Twitter. I don't like getting on Twitter, but these people are fun.
And you were on it a lot today.
They make Twitter fun. So yes.
You know what's funny is now that we've had a friend, Steve Helling, do a little Naked and Afraid, which he put on our Facebook group. We can't tell you everything he told us, but it's very interesting how they edit things.
Oh yeah,
isn't it?
Yes.
Man, a little bit of credence to all that stuff Dan always says.
Oh, boy, you better cover that can of worms back up.
Okay, cover it right back up. All right. Brawn loses, and then we get the whole "I tried, we tried" thing. Now there has to be more to that, but I will tell you this: that my wife was like in total agreement with the Brawn tribe. against Alicia on this.
Yeah.
And I said, what? She was just saying, I mean, she wasn't saying that they weren't or whatever. And she goes, it's just like whenever you say, I'm going to go to my bedroom. It's our bedroom. I'm like, okay.
Well, until you get in there, it's my bedroom.
Yeah. Let's go get in my car. No, it's our car. So I guess to me, sometimes it's semantics, and maybe for Alicia, it was just semantics, but for them, it wasn't just semantics.
Well, I mean, and it could be also her trying to plead her case the whole time she's out there. I tried, as in don't blame me. But at the same time, as we watched the puzzle, as we watched Alicia, who said in episode 1 that she does not do puzzles, as we watched her struggle with Sydney, poor Sydney, and look at Jason and Scott, do you want to tag in? And they're like, nah, there's no reward here. We're just going to go ahead and vote you out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, those guys, they're not throwing the challenge. They are not going to help anymore in this challenge. There's no point.
It's like, Jason, why are you holding a piece of rope behind your back? Hey, Jason, give me that rope. What rope? I don't see any rope.
But whether it was intended or it just came up as they were losing in the challenge, what a great strategy to get rid of the person that could hurt you.
Sure.
She's going to flip on you. She's going to tell people about your idol.
Absolutely.
Get rid of the person. Just if we can't win outright, let's go ahead and get rid of her.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And Sydney's, Sydney, kudos. We don't get to hear a lot from Sydney, but my goodness, it looks like she's just playing the good game right now. A really good game right now.
Man, and this is why I didn't do a driving prediction or non-driving prediction this week, even though you did do one because of thank you, CBS, for giving away way too much information as to what was going to happen. And I didn't want to make a prediction of what was going to spoil anything.
Well,
but I'm not
wrong.
I know, but I'm not going to make one this week because there's no way to tell what's going to happen with these with what could be coming up.
Yeah. Well, I'm still going to.
You go right ahead. You go right ahead.
You actually will make one in our D&D extra video. I'm going to make you, but only 30 people will see that one, so it won't matter.
I'll make one there, but I'm not. I love this. This is one of my favorite points of the season.
Yeah,
I love the merge and I love the swap.
I love trying.
Unless it is a merge because they are at 13 now.
Yeah, all we see on the preview is spoiler alert. Jump 15 seconds if you don't want to hear it. Here you go. Drop your buffs.
There you go. Nothing from there.
That's right. We assume they're going to 2, but they could
and jump another 15 seconds because we usually hear we're switching tribes or we're swapping, or sometimes he gives us a tease as to what's going to happen.
I don't know. I think I usually. Oh, you mean in the preview?
In the preview, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Interesting. There's so much good stuff going on in the chat room. I can't read it all and keep up. So I'm just refusing to read what looks like an incredible thing. I'm just not going to read it. All right. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Then Brawn Probst goes, look, the whole body language says everything. This is not a happy tribe. And we're going back to tribal. Or maybe they're not going back to tribal. Maybe they're going to do it right there. Yeah. And Probst would have done it. Or did you get another direct message?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
David.
Nice.
I didn't really. Did you? I wasn't really a fan of that. Absolutely, you don't agree to that. You never agree to go to tribal, and you certainly don't agree to say that was. I liked Alicia's comment. She said that would have been quitting, and I did not want to quit.
That's right.
So I applaud her for that. Of course, she made no progress at camp because we saw nothing at camp.
Yeah.
But so what would you have done? Here's where I thought about asking you again. You know, you're in a tribe with 3 other women like Anna and Julia and Michelle, and they've bonded. You know you can't break it. And he says, is there any chance that you're not going home? And Michelle holds up her hands like 0. So what is your plan when you go back to camp? Or do you think about the cheeseburgers at Ponderosa and say
the idol's already found?
Right. Just like Alicia's situation.
Okay. It's not 3 other women. It would be 2 women and a man. If it's going to be the same dynamic, I would go to the guy because Sydney has at least befriended her and is kind to her and talks to her.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I would go to the guy who in this scenario is the equivalent to Sydney.
Right.
Is there any scenario in which you and I could take someone else out? Is there any scenario? Do you want to flush an idol? Do you want to do anything? Fine, go ahead, whatever. But do you want? That would be my only approach I could think of.
And if the other two girls, if the guy says to himself or the other two girls, the way they're talking to her, if they talk to other people like this, they're going to be perfect to take to the end.
Right.
I'm not breaking away from these guys. These guys are perfect.
Right.
So no, there's no chance.
Right. Do your earphones keep coming out? Is that what's going on?
Somehow they're pulling backwards.
Like,
so this is not perfect. They're marshmallowing out. So they're marshmallow earphones.
Oh, because they're not designed to be behind your ears.
Right.
They're designed to be in front of you.
Right. Okay. So I'll fix that.
Yeah. All right. So yes, I'm not doing tribal right now. That would be giving up. No matter what you say about Alicia, you may say she's a horrible game player. You may say her social game is horrible. Whatever you want to say about Alicia, that girl does not give up. And put her on a different tribe where she gets along with people, and I guarantee you she would have lasted a lot longer.
So she goes back to camp. She looks for the idol. She says in one of her exit interviews. At the same time, she keeps checking back at camp to see if somebody is dehydrated and passed out and hoping they get another medical evac.
Yeah.
She takes everybody's water canteen with her.
Yeah. Yeah. Here she's like, look at this. Look at this beautiful plant that may or may not be poisonous. You should try this. You should try to eat this. Let me help you go to sleep tonight.
Y'all are going to need your strength when I leave. So eat these plants that don't look like the poisonous plants they showed us at the beginning.
Yeah. This isn't poison ivy. I promise. All right. Tribal council, pretty much the shortest in history, I bet.
Yeah.
Usually tribal councils are 2-3 hours. I bet this one was like 30 minutes.
It sure felt like it.
Yeah. We need to get Steve to ask Probst that next time they're talking. I mean, Probst has never told a contestant, I think you're going to be voted out tonight, but I'm still rooting for you. Never heard that before. Never.
Yeah, that was really odd. Like, what's Jason and Scott and Sydney supposed to do? Like, are we not on your favorite list? Are we not getting on the second chance ballot?
Oh man, just for the sake of how awesome it would have been on the show, if she had had an idol, it just would have been so hilarious. But
not the three people.
No, not at all. So I like what Alicia says. I'm not going to mope around about it. It's like, I don't know if you've seen Bridge of Spies.
No, not yet.
Excellent movie. One of the things that the Russian spy says to Tom Hanks is like, you realize you could get the electric chair. You don't seem worried about it. And he says, would it help? And I kind of like Alicia's approach. It's not going to help for me to mope around. I'm not going to mope around about it. I'm going to take what I got from this experience and I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to move on. Kudos.
There you
go. I did notice this though, on Scott's voting parchment. I think he was trying to say Alicia, right?
Yes, I got the same thing.
But he spelled it wrong. He wrote SEA, which is like the ocean.
Well, maybe that was just, I think he did that on purpose. Come on.
No. It's all those, scholarships when he was in college. All those cheerleaders doing his work for him. Doing his spelling tests for him. All right. Do you get the feeling that Sydney cannot wait for a tribe swap? I mean, well, now she is because she'd be the next to go. But I'm just like,
she might be waiting for one just to have different surroundings, just to change the environment. I don't know, but no, I think she hopes she gets with Jason and Scott.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think the guy just told her he's going to go with her to the bitter end.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right, my friends. That was our recap and discussion.
Hey guys, this is Jennifer, and I just wanted to steal a moment during my favorite podcast to remind you to use D&D's Amazon link when you shop at Amazon. Not only do you get everything you need at Amazon, you're also helping D&D continue their great podcasts. So always use www.stwdd.com/Amazon when you start your shopping, or make it even easier and just use their links on their website and the D&D Facebook group. That's all I wanted to say. Now back to more D&D.
All right, it's time for listener feedback. And we have 6 tonight. And 3 are audio. How awesome is that?
They get tired of hearing our voices too. I love that.
Yes. All right, first we have Emily from Finland. Hi, Emily here once again with my feedback. This episode was crazy, brutal, scary, shocking, but overall, a good episode. It was so crazy when people started getting down that I can't even talk about it. I got so crazy when everybody from the crew came to help. I might consider showing the episode to my big brother because he thinks that Survivor is fake, but probably doesn't want to watch it. Yeah, welcome to my world. My dad always jokes on me about Survivor being fake. I love the challenges so much, not talking about the medical stuff. By the way, David, if I start coughing, just take over for me, okay?
If I'm not coughing, I'll be glad to.
Okay. Well, all right. My coughing trumps yours because I still have pneumonia.
Okay.
I love the one where they roll the balls. It's so fun. Immunity challenge was cool too because it was old school challenge. Puzzle was interesting and different than usual. Oh, and different than usual. And they had to run to the jungle and then just go to the water. I was also happy that usually people go in like 6 different pairs and the challenges are complicated, but this was simple and fun. I will now give my opinions on the players and their games. Hopefully Alex hasn't copyrighted his blog name. Little plug to our bloggers.
There you go.
stwdd.com/bloggers. We have 4.
Yeah,
So,
Brian's no longer allowed to write at work. He actually has to work. So Brian gets his in very, very quickly, usually the night of the episode.
yeah, Brian's is usually up within a couple of hours. In fact, before the West Coast is done.
Yeah, so he's got to put spoiler on that when he does.
Yeah. Brains, Peter, I thought that he was going because in the episode's beginning, he said, I want a beer. And then in the immunity challenge, he forgot the puzzle piece. But then he won it for his tribe, and it was good for him because he seemed to know that he would get the puzzle fast, and he did. Neil, we are not getting anything from him, and I don't know if he is just boring or what. Remember, Neil is my pick to win.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey, we are not getting anything from her, and I don't know if she is just boring or what.
It seems like they're rotating episodes because last week we did get good from them, and this week it's not much of anything.
Yeah. Papa Joe, he really struggled in the challenge, and I was surprised that he did struggle, but I would struggle on day 1, so I don't blame him. By the way, this is where the preview totally fooled me. I thought the medical evac was obvious because the guy on the stretcher looked like he was wearing black pants and no socks. That's Joe, right? Little did I know it was a black thing over Caleb.
Yeah.
So they got me.
And it's funny. It's not funny, but he says Papa Joe struggled in the challenge. The only place he struggled was getting over those fence posts.
Yeah, he did have trouble with that.
And at the same time, I'm thinking, hold on. He's over 70 years old. Give the guy a little slack when it comes to climbing fences with no ladders. Go ahead.
Yes, but he is in the game. So.
He is.
Debbie, I'm happy that she didn't get pulled from the game because I really like her. They showed her crying, and it's good for her because Jeremy cried, Mike cried, Natalie cried, Tony cried, Tyson cried, and Cochran cried. But Colton cried too, so that might be a bad sign. Shots fired. By the way, how funny is it that he does podcasting with you guys? I don't know. If you wouldn't know better, you'd think that he'd be the last person to hang out with you guys. To defend myself, I was rooting for Colton in one world, and I enjoyed him in your podcast. I was thinking to use him or Lil from Pearl Island for the crying example, but I wasn't sure if you guys would have remembered her. Where was I? Hang on. Reading, mumbling, reading, still reading, realizing that everyone is getting bored, so decides to continue the feedback, but realizes that he actually doesn't remember where he was, so he checks it again. Reading. Okay, now I'm done. Boy, this is probably the weirdest feedback ever. No, that title goes to...
I was going to say Lou, but...
Yeah.
Are you sure this isn't a pseudo name for Lou?
Yeah.
When you were reading all that, that's what I was thinking.
Beauty, a.k.a. a Better Tandang tribe. Didn't get anything from them except that Ty said, I'm not going home with an idol in my pocket, which is either a good sign or bad, but hoping that it's a good sign. Brawn, I was so happy that they went to tribal because now Alicia is gone and I can't flip on them. Oh, and can't flip on them. Sorry, Cass. Jason, he also kind of got the crier edit, but he didn't cry. But he still talked about his family, which is a good sign. Right when I was writing this, Steven said that he is getting the winner's edit in another podcast that shall not be named. Well, you can name any podcast you want on our podcast. We do not mind at all. He did the right thing. Oh, wait, he said Steven, so he's probably talking about
Know-it-alls.
the know-it-alls. That's right. He did the right thing with going away from Alicia when he got angry. Only thing I'm worried for him is that in the challenge, he said, I'm with her to the bitter end.
And everybody heard that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Scott, I don't like him. He was rude to Alicia, and he was really annoying and rude. I dislike him most from the cast. I could go for a rant how I hate him, but I'll leave it at that. Side note, I don't like how they treated Alicia, but I still hope he goes far. All right. Do you think he means Jason goes far? Or?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Sydney is doing okay. I see her best move after the swap to go with other people than Scott and Jason because they will be the biggest targets after the swap. Can you carry on for me for a minute?
Yep. Medevac, a.k.a. Caleb Beast Mode Cowboy. I'm calling it Survivor Season 34 will be Terry versus Caleb. And I will admit that when I saw that, I was thinking, I would think Hayden versus Caleb more than Terry versus Caleb. I wonder if Terry would ever come back. I will really miss him, and I'm really sad that he went the way he did. Respect. Only thing I was annoyed about was people saying I thought he was invincible and stuff. I felt that they were overplaying him a little, but still with Jeff being somewhat in charge of the edit, and it's not the first time alpha males cough, Joe, cough, cough, get a huge edit. Sorry about that. I think I'm getting sick. No, wait. I actually am sick and at home, alone, listening to Survivor podcast and watching Survivor. Awesome. You want me to keep going?
No, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. The Boot, a.k.a. Alicia, a.k.a. Blondie. They probably threw the challenge, but I still want to get this out of my system. Why the flammable donut unicorn monkey butt did they... why the flammable donut unicorn monkey butt did they put Alicia on the puzzle? Sorry. She's gone, and I really didn't expect that she was going home. Oh, wait. Yes, I did. They went back to camp. It was so crazy. Everybody was making alliances and lying to everyone. Oh, wait. No, they didn't. Editors did such a good job with the edit, I thought that Jeff was going home. Oh, wait. No, I didn't. It was the craziest tribal ever. Oh, wait. No, it wasn't. Biggest blindside ever. Oh, no, it wasn't. Oh, wow.
Lou, do you have family in Finland?
Yeah.
Is there any possible chance?
Lou, are you and Emily related? All right. Oh, best players. This time I will list the players who will be in a good position after the swap. Drum roll, please. Dwayne trying to do really bad drum roll. Oh, nice. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't do one. I almost did. Trust me, I know what a bad drum roll is. I have played drums for 7 years. So the best players are Beauty Girls. They are like the likable Black Widow Alliance. They will go far, and one of them, Cough Anna, cough, cough, will win. I couldn't come up with anyone from the Brains tribe because I don't know how other people will react to them, and I really hope that Ty, Debbie, and Jason will get into the same tribe. It would be so fun. No one from the Brain tribe because they are fudged.
Brawn tribe.
Sorry. No one from the Brawn tribe because they are fudged. Sorry that I swore, but it's the truth. And whoever is reading this will say something else because it's a family-friendly podcast with D&D. Yes, indeed. Well, this was your Finnish friend from Finland. Hear you guys later. Like we say in Finland, do you guys even know what this means? I mean, check your stuff, man. I might be always saying something fudged up like Russell Hanson's the best player to never win, or Jeff Probst doesn't get his flag up, family podcast for alpha males, or Dwayne is best at Mikko's challenge. So where was I? Reading. Oh, yeah. From the awesome, weird, funny, hopefully friend, a.k.a. Emily Mansika from Finland. That wore me out. All right, David, during Wendy's audio feedback, I am going to go get a drink of water. So here we have Wendy Zell and her feedback.
Hey, Dwayne, David, and all my Survivor friends. This is Wendy from South Dakota. Wow, what a punishing challenge. all I kept thinking when I was watching that challenge is that circle is huge. Why did they have to make the circle so big? Especially because they knew the temperature and the sun and the humidity is the way it is. It was just seemed like it was a larger circle than they normally bury things in. Not that it's their fault. It was just a really big circle. And man, to see them just dropping like flies after that challenge, it was scary. I mean, it was really scary. I was actually more worried for Sydney at one point than Caleb because she like was shaking so bad, but she maybe was having like a panic attack because of the way that she felt. I'm glad to hear that Caleb is 100% recovered and healthy. I was really sad to see him go. I found him very entertaining. I liked him on Big Brother. Sometimes he's just a little bit over the top, but it's better to be a little bit over the top than be boring. So I was sad to see him go. I have a sneaking suspicion that we'll see him again. On the other hand, Alicia, I was not sad to see her go. When I come across people like her on this show, I kind of wonder what casting was thinking. It's not that she's a horrible person. She's not. It's just I don't understand what they thought she was going to bring to the table. She was small. She doesn't seem to do well at puzzles, yet they kept putting her on puzzles. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they cared whether they lost at that point because they knew they could give her up. So, I feel bad for her as a person because, this was her Survivor experience. But, when she said, I went out fighting, I don't think that was meant to be literally fighting with everyone. When you're fighting for your spot, that means you make yourself useful or valuable, not literally fighting with everyone on the team. So it was a good episode. I'm really enjoying this season. I'm glad to be back and sending in feedback again. I'm still catching up on listening to the ones I missed while I was gone, so maybe I'll hear something really exciting. Who knows? Anyway, y'all take care. Bye.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see Caleb again. And
Oh,
I mean, it's really a roll of the dice with some of these people. You get people. I mean, you can imagine interviewing somebody like Anna. You get that she's very smart. She knows the game, and she really wants to play the game hard. You get somebody like Ty, and you get the passion in his voice that he's just going to be out there. You talk to Jason, he's going to talk your ear off about what he can do and what he's going to do and how he's going to backstab people. And then you get Alicia, and she might have a good interview, and all of a sudden 5 minutes in, you're like, hey, she could actually do something. But you just don't know. You don't know what the heat's going to do. You don't know what the food's going to do, and you just don't know.
That's right. All right, next we have Will Dennison from Wonder Lake.
All right, so while he's doing his, I'm going to go buy a car, and then I'll be back.
Really? That's nice.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Calling from my car again, which I know Dwayne is so fond of. He also loves it when I mention the fact that he loves when I call from my car. So we get a double, Will, today. Anyway, there are 3 things I wanted to talk about from last night's episode. 2 very minor ones and then 1 kind of major one. So real quick, number 1, I wanted to mention Kylo, Jason, Dog, the Bounty Hunter. In the previously on Survivor, we are shown that Brawn finally didn't lose an immunity challenge. And what clip do they show us for Brawn not losing? Jason screaming, left, left! There is almost no doubt in my mind that we are looking at a very, very, very deep run for Jason in this game. Possibly he is our ultimate winner. And the reason I think that's the case is there's no reason for them to show us him screaming left, left in showing the Brawn's tribe winning as though he's carrying the tribe to victory. They're trying to give us the positive Jason moments, at every point they can because they don't want a villain winner. Survivor, suck it up. He's a villain, and us villain fans love the guy. Stop trying to make him a hero. Let him be who he is. But number 2, my next minor point, has to do with the previously on Survivor. So anybody who doesn't want to be spoiled about what happens next week, here's your spoiler alert. Why don't you skip forward about a minute in this podcast? Mild spoiler, I am relying on the next time on Survivor. Okay, there is a swap coming. Anybody who's a fan of Survivor should have known that, should have seen it coming, but there you go. There's going to be a swap coming. What I wanted to mention is we're down to an odd number of players. So one of 3 things happens. Either we have another medevac, or we have a quit, or we have a swap with an uneven number of players. It doesn't break down into 2 evenly, and it doesn't break down into 3 evenly. I think that's unlikely, and I wonder what would happen with the odd man out. Would that person be an extra member of a tribe? So we're looking at 7 on 6, or would that person be a reward or a replacement to the tribe that loses the first challenge? I don't know. Curious to see what happens. Looks like something somewhat unusual, unless it's just a quick quit or not as serious medical evacuation, followed by a swap at 12. Okay. Number 3, and the main thrust of my call, and probably the main thrust of everybody's thought this week, Caleb's evacuation. And I got to tell you, last night was only the 3rd time in my history of watching Survivor, and I've watched every single episode, that I've been angry at Survivor. The first time I was angry was when Jatia burned the rice. The second time I was angry was not even watching Survivor. It was watching the Ponderosa videos where Andrew Savage thought he was the victim of yet another twist, because he's a victim of every twist, and then was rude to the Queen of Ponderosa. So frankly, the first 2 times I've been angry at Survivor both have to do with Cass not getting the respect she deserves. I don't know whether you guys know this, but I love me some Cass. This time it has to do with Jeff Probst and Jeff Probst alone. Jeff giving this unnecessary commentary during challenges or during tribal council is nothing new. It's basically what the show is built around. But last night we had a doctor treating 3 patients, one of whom was in very serious risk of dying. And rather than let the doctor focus 100% of his efforts on Caleb, or at the very least 75% on Caleb and 25% split between Sydney and Debbie, Jeff kept asking him, well, doctor, walk us through what's going on now. What are you doing and why? Jeff, all due respect, shut up. Let the doctor do his job. We'll deal with narrating your TV show later on. Don't worry about the shot. Don't worry about the scene. Worry about the human life that is at risk of dying. Well, on that note, I'm sorry to bring everybody down, but like I said, it made me mad. So that's all I've got. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
All right, since Will is a Facebook friend of mine, he's going to hate this. But the dude sounds like Donald Trump. Not the things he's saying, other than Jeff Probst, shut up. That sounds like something Trump would say. But when he started talking, I was like, oh my gosh, he's got the same inflections, and poor Will.
Now I didn't write down any notes off that, but I got a couple comments. First of all, Will, when you're watching Ponderosa, you're still watching Survivor.
That's right, buddy.
Survivor or not, it's still Survivor.
That's right.
Secondly, I completely agree, and I really think that Probst did not realize the dire situation that Caleb was in, because he was back in game show host mode.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're going through. And are we one day going to hear, Jeff, I can't talk to you right now. I'm dealing with somebody that's in a life or death situation.
Or Jeff, shut up. Maybe.
And I know this is my last job with you, so otherwise I'll be good to go.
I realize I'm going to lose my job, but his life is more important. Shut up.
So exactly. So how bad would it be if they do a schoolyard pick next week and whoever's the last one picked is not in the game anymore?
Because
That
it's
would
an
be
odd
hard
number.
because it's an odd number. Some people are saying it could be a merge, a big merge, but at the same, because last year it was wasn't it merged 13? So how horrible would that be?
Wow.
Especially if Probst says whoever's not picked is not in the game anymore. This is your elimination. That would be horrible. And what was the other thing he said? He said, hoping to remember it. I guess. What was the first thing he said?
To remember.
First thing he talked about.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, aka the Giant Ninja. Calling from my car again.
Yeah, let's get past that. Just a second.
What's the one I wanted to mention? Kylo, Jason, Dog.
Oh, thank you. That's it. Okay, I was talking to a buddy today, and when I looked back at the episode, Jason got a positive edit. He almost got like a hero edit because, like you pointed out, even when he told her to stop talking, he went back and apologized in a way saying, I didn't mean to be a jerk about it.
Right.
I just wanted you to stop talking.
Yeah.
They would never have shown Dan saying something like that.
No way. No
Dan would
way.
never get that extra line, but Jason got the extra line, come back.
Oh, so maybe he is getting a winner's edit.
Jason never left Sydney's side. He stuck with her the whole time. Jason got up and left the shelter instead of getting into a deeper argument. Even when she called him out saying, you don't know what sacrifice means. He could have gone off for an hour about what sacrifice means. But, this was interesting, that Jason actually got some high mark edit points there. Like Will says, I hope he is along for the game because he's a Thrice is Nice member. But otherwise, when I went back and watched, I'm like, wow, he's getting some positive points.
Jason, go, boy.
Anyway, thank you for playing that again. I remembered that when you said that.
Wow, some good stuff, y'all. Great stuff. And we still have the Mikko challenge coming up. And wow, I love
more feedback.
I love podcasting. So much fun. All right, David, you're going to read Martin Leeds from Germany. Martin is the one that now does our Mikko challenge. So here we go.
All right. Hey, D&D. What an intense episode. The scene was so unbelievable and it was unreal. Also, we have to give a huge praise to the musical department of the show. They made this reward challenge epic. Did you notice when we came back from commercial, this is me, that it was just the trees and the birds, and all of a sudden puts us right back into the situation with Caleb.
Well, actually, it was a shot directly at the sun.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And as the music got more death-defying, the sun got brighter.
All right. As the Cambodian Metallica picked in, it started getting more down on the Caleb.
Sun's gotten brighter.
But let's start from the beginning before he sings that again. The Brains come back from travel and nothing interesting happens. Peter's at the bottom and wants to take revenge. Whatever. I thought something interesting. He went away from the group. Then I really got surprised with the early reward challenge. I honestly did not expect it that early because we pretty much knew that somebody would get medevaced. The challenge was not worth the reward. Do they really eat coconut with salt and pepper? As a reminder, they all don't have rice. The producers felt that there is enough shellfish in the ocean, so they don't have to give them rice. Well, maybe this could also be a reason why they've all struggled so hard. But I don't blame Survivor for letting the contestants run. Ultimately, it also comes down to how good the Survivor contestants know their body. It is so important to know your limits. Why did not a single team have a strategy at the digging part of the challenge? Here you go, because you mentioned this earlier. Mm-hmm. There could be so many different strategies from moving like a radar or digging from the inside to the outside. If you dig from the inside to the outside, when you start working out, you're going to be moving the sand that you just moved from the inside. Instead, everybody just played in the sandbox like a 5-year-old. Oh, I'm sure they would agree that they were just playing like 5-year-olds. Okay. Yeah. Alicia kicking the sand was the I skipped too far. No, I didn't either. Sorry. Somebody's got this font way too big.
I wonder who.
The blind man said. Alicia kicking the sand was the early highlight. Thank goodness she played football, right? And now she did talk football, but football is also soccer, and she did play soccer. So, yes, she's right. So every team Finally, every team finds the balls, and then all heck breaks loose. It was scary. Jeff taking care of Debbie while Caleb is collapsing in the background. That was insane. And if this is not enough, Sydney also has trouble. The whole scene was very emotional and probably connected the contestants even stronger together. It was also crazy to see how many people are actually at the set. Yeah, we've heard stories about that before, and there was a ton of people. Quite the crowd.
I also read somewhere that they're there. There's a lot of people there, and any drinking of water that they do it beforehand, so they're not doing it in front of the players. Now, I'm sure if a challenge is going on for 45 minutes, they might go off into the woods and drink, but they don't like openly drink in front of the.
I think for the players. I think Probst said in Dalton's interview that they're out there for sometimes 3 to 4 hours before the survivors even get out there. And we were told by a survivor that somebody from production got medevaced.
Yes.
During this season. Jeff's speech was a bit weird. You could clearly see that he was exhausted physically and mentally. Ty seems to be his go-to guy if he needs someone to talk to. Also, Kyle/Jason had some sweet words, and I really hope they will make his word come true and go with Sydney to the bitter end. This foreshadowing was pretty sweet. Let's see. Well, the episode was just around 50% done, so there had to be another eviction, and we jump right into the next challenge. If I remember correctly, the eviction was on day 9. That's correct. And the immunity challenge on day 11, so they had a day of which is good and necessary. So, yes, day 10 was nothing.
That's right.
I won't say nothing, but you know what I mean. The immunity challenge.
As Dalton says, they didn't play day 10, or it did not exist.
Did not exist. The immunity challenge was decent. The puzzle was not very good television because you just had no visual evolution of the puzzle. I completely agree with that. Unless they did an aerial shot from the top, you really couldn't get a good look at that puzzle. The ropes may be a good idea in practice, but it doesn't give the show anything. Brains are the dominating force in the puzzle and win the second challenge of this episode. Life is fine there. Nick swaps in for the beauty, and surprisingly, the puzzle got solved. And we still don't get a confessional from Nick.
That's true. Hey, this is all we got from Nick, right? These are Caleb's
ankles. Yeah,
these are Caleb's ankles. This is all we got from Nick. The whole season, the whole episode.
Let's see. I did not expect Nick to be the puzzle guy. Good for him. The big butt, B-U-T, I guess the Brawn tribe just threw this. So here's another feedback saying that he thinks they threw it. They let Alicia try to save her own neck, but she failed. In the first episode, she said that she's not good at puzzles, but they put her in that position yet again. For the other 3 Brawns, it was probably the best decision they could have made at this point of the game since Alicia wasn't afraid to tell them that she wants to flip against them. I expect Alicia to give the other tribes a warning and yell after the challenge that Kyle/Jason has the idol. That would have been such a good TV. Sadly, she didn't, but she refused the Brandon Hance treatment. This gives her my respect that she honors the game and wants to get her torch snuffed. The rushed ending was, I don't know. It fitted the episode and closed the chapter for Blondie. Let me now get to a point that annoyed me. Here we go. I like these. Last week, Peter got called a bully. This week, Scott and Kyle/Jason are the bullies. That is garbage, in my opinion. Kyle/Jason was the one that tried to calm Scott down when he got called out and blamed for taking a break in the reward challenge. All right, Jason. I'm just going to call him Jason now instead of Kyle/Jason. Jason also was the only Brawn who helped Sydney while she was at her lowest point. His language towards Alicia may be a little bit harsh, but he is a tough guy. Scott calls himself a caveman. What do you expect from him? What you see is what you get. It was a mutual dislike. That happens everywhere. And if you are forced to live with each other for almost 2 weeks, it is just normal that you will clash and collide at some points. And as we all know, we may have been seeing the only clash points they had, with all the middle edit. If you can't handle the fire, don't touch it. And if Alicia just couldn't resist to poke the bear, or should I say start the fire? Possible spoiler if you haven't watched the next time on. We love it.
Reminded me of one of my favorite jokes.
Okay.
About the guy that goes bear hunting, but I won't tell it here.
Okay. Great. Now they'd rather hear that than the rest of our show. All right. So possible spoiler. I love it when people give us possible spoilers and let people know they can skip 30 seconds. All right. You might want to mute yourself and cough. Yes. If you haven't watched the next time on. So I expect the next episode to be even crazier with all of our favorite words. Drop your buffs. I have no idea if they are directly going into a merge or make two tribes, with one with 7 and one with 6 members. I could see both options, and both could give us very good TV. If it is a merge, then we would have 5 brains against 5 beauties and the bronze in the middle. Maybe they merge at 13 and realize that this is a good option, so they did the same in season 31 again. Well, I can't wait for it. That's it for today from my part. Good luck in the Mikko Challenge. Greetings from Germany, Martin.
Yeah. Way to go, Martin. From my homeland. Actually, I was born in Germany, but I was born on American soil because I was born in an American hospital. So anyway, they are asking me in the chat room to do impressions, but I have a sneaky suspicion it's because they want more fodder about which to laugh.
Yes.
They want me to do Debbie. So I will work on Debbie this week and maybe give you a Debbie. Because I, for the life of me right now, I can't think of what I would say intelligent enough.
There's got to be a parody with Mastermind in it somewhere. There's got to be something.
Yeah, I really, I want to do a parody really badly. I just need some inspiration. I mean, it's hard to beat Spy Shack, and okay, anyway. All right, next we have David didn't put who it is. He just put my name there. So apparently I wrote some feedback.
Tarantino.
Yeah, I know. It's Steve from New York. Hello, D&D. I hope you are feeling better, Dwayne. Nice job, Cass. Last week on the podcast. Love to hear the inside info on Survivor. Boy, that was the truth. Wasn't that great? Man. Mm-hmm. I feel it is a smart play with Debbie going to Obama to talk after Tribal Council. You never know if she may need his help later on. Now, does Obama believe her? I'm not sure. You realize, by the way, David, that when someone uses the name Obama in our podcast, now we have been tagged by the NSA.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, thank you, Steve.
And when he says, does O believe her? He says, I'm sure not. So it wasn't a question. It was, you said, I'm not sure. He says,
sorry. Now, does Obama believe her? I'm sure not. Reward challenge, a survivor first, with 3 people down at 1 challenge. Wow. Maybe for future challenges, they can give everyone water before the game with the similar situation. Cass said something about that last week. Why not, if it's 120 degrees, give everybody a pint of water before you start? It's fair because everybody's getting it.
Mm-hmm.
So, was it NBA or Tattoo saying to Alicia that, quote, I found 2 bags. How many did you find? That was Scott. Totally out of line. He put that in all caps. Sorry to see in the millions of ladies that Caleb was taken out by Medevac. We can see he is doing fine with the pic on Instagram/Facebook. Don't worry, I'm sure he will be back. Sorry, ladies, but he has a girlfriend, LOL, who actually now is his fiance.
Yeah.
I can see that everyone likes him. He seems like a cool guy off camera. I think Yao Man loves him. That would be Ty. I believe he's talking about Ty. The immunity challenge. I think that, by the way, Will is in the chat room, and he took, what's the word? He took...
umbrage?
Yes, umbrage with me saying he sounded like Donald Trump.
No.
Oh, great. I've mentioned Donald Trump and Obama in the same podcast. NSA is coming down on us.
You better watch it soon because it's going to be taken down from
That's
YouTube.
right. It would be like the scene in War Games. My house is going to get raided. I think that Jeff was fishing with Alicia to speak up before the challenge. I think Jeff was fishing with Alicia.
I got a like.
Huh?
I like that Jeff was fishing.
I like that Jeff was fishing with Alicia to speak up before the challenge. Alicia didn't bite. Obama/Doc saves the day for Brains and Brawn is out. Too bad Alicia can't do anything. I mean, it's no secret that she is going to be voted off. Tribal Council at the beach would have been another first. Of course, they showed nothing at camp before Tribal Council. I think this has to be the fastest Tribal Council ever, right? Sorry, Alicia is out. I did like her fight in this game. Thinking back, if Sydney didn't turn on Alicia with the idols, she would still be here. Sucks that she found the clue and she has nothing to show for it. Well, I guess that is Survivor. Wow, looks like they're mixing up tribes next week. Alicia just missed the cut. Would be funny to see NBA/Tattoos faces if they mixed up before Alicia got voted off. Now who keeps the idol? Does NBA have it? Tattoo? Yao Man says he's in trouble. Myself, I feel he is safe at camp. He is a very likable person. What do you think? If there is no mix-up next week, do you think he goes home? No, I would say Nick would go home.
Yeah.
Will in the chat room. Bear joke. Tell us. Nope. Maybe at the very end. All right. With the little, but you'll have to remind me, David, because I'll forget.
Okay.
I'm curious who would have gone home if the Brawn goes to Tribal Council with those three. Okay, D&D, catch you next week at Tribal Council. Steve, New York graphic artist. Thank you, Steve. All right, we have one more feedback, and it is from our wonderful friend, Vader Girl. So here we go with Vader Girl. I got to find it. There it is.
This is Miriam, a.k.a. Vader Girl. I love you guys. I am so impressed with your podcasting, and I think that Dave and Dwayne do one of the best podcasts, period. You guys are just amazing. I love Cass. I'm glad she's reading the 100. Can't wait to talk to you more about that. I am so upset about what happened with Caleb. I've cried. I can't stop crying. I'm so full of emotion. I think that Jeff Probst should have stopped that challenge as soon as Deb was dehydrated. He should have known that other people would have been having heat stroke issues, and they should have hydrated them and stopped it. I cannot believe they let it continue. I'm just so upset. I feel like they threw Caleb's game away. I feel like he had a really good chance to win. I really enjoyed watching him, and I'm just so devastated. So that was just really heart-wrenching. And then what made me really angry was to hear Jeff Probst tweeting about bullying and not acknowledging the elephant in the room, which people are going to be upset like I was about Caleb. That's all I was thinking about. I don't want to hear about the bullying. I'm sorry Alicia felt bullied. I'm sorry that happened. But I noticed that happens on every freaking reality TV show that I watch, from Big Brother to anything on MTV to Survivor. And I just want to say I'm really upset that Jeff was trying to throw shade at Scott and Jason. I feel like there was the bait and switch going on. I think that it was too much focusing on bullying, and more should have been focused on conditions and hazardous conditions and what's safe for people out there with water and what we are putting these contestants through on these reality shows. We could have lost Caleb. Dear God, that would have been awful. And I really don't like seeing all the hate and ugliness towards Scott and Jason. I just like with Will and Dan, it really bothers me when they throw shade like that, and then people start cyber lynching and attacking them, which I think is way worse. That kind of bullying is more dangerous and statistically has shown more harm to people. I just don't like it. But I love the show. Thank you guys, and thank you for all you do. Sending love and light. May the force be with you, and may we meet again.
May the force be with you, David.
It is. It's with me.
It is. Thank you, Mir I Am. Always reminds me of a Dr. Seuss book whenever I read her name. Because, it's not Miriam. It's Mir I Am. Like, Yoda I am. Mir I am.
Oh, I thought she just said Miriam.
No. It's Mir I Am.
Cool.
She's Vader Girl. And who am I imitating, David?
Oh, Obi-Wan when he's old?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for
You write them. We read them. iTunes Reviews.
Yes, that's right. It's time for iTunes Reviews. We have 2 new iTunes reviews this week. First one is from Casey Crafton. He gave us 5 stars and titled the review Above and Beyond. And he wrote, hold on, David's got his Yoda up. Well, wait, hold on, David. Show that again. Oh, David wants to use his 15-foot cord so he can walk all over his room. Hurry up.
You're the Phil.
Do that again?
No.
Phil, I did.
I know when to stop.
Fell, I did, Yoda. I fell, I did. All right. He wrote, stop the impressions. No, he wrote, he wrote, Survivor Talk with D&D is sent from the heavens. Here is where you get your really important news from two Survivor fanatic best friends. As you know, when D&D aren't pushing boulders and building skyscrapers, they are killing it in the podcast world and providing unique insight on the Survivor universe. Can't wait for the next one, guys. I feel like he thinks we're like Marvel comic book characters. You know, we're like superheroes.
Pushing boulders and building skyscrapers?
Right. That's what I call knowing that your review is going to get read on the air. That's what I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Way to go. Next, we have Traveling Tina, 786. She's in our chat room right now. In fact, she's sick. She wrote in her chat room. She's sick. She gave us 5 stars and titled the review Survivor Talk with D&D. The reason why she titled it that is because she left it under our Movie Talk with D&D podcast. Did you hear me?
Yes, I did.
It was in the Movie Talk. I had to go find it.
Yeah, I saw you message it to her. Yeah.
Yeah. Great weekly podcast. Good guys, funny guys, respectful guys, and most importantly, interesting guys. Worth listening to and getting to know them. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. Leave us an iTunes review and we will read it, because iTunes reviews are a wonderful way to help people find us on iTunes. And of course, we like them. And that, my friends, is iTunes reviews.
We read them. iTunes reviews.
All right, David. Now, David, you and Colton Cumby do something every week. Would you like to share what that is?
We just do a ranking each week where we rank the remaining castaways from safest to least safe. And we're using the Gordon Holmes scoring system where wherever we've ranked the person that gets voted out, we get points. And so if we had put Darnell as number 18, the first week you get 18 points.
Right.
So, and this week Colton had Alicia at number 1 because he's a fan. So he only got 1 point for Alicia at that point.
But he got full points for the other person.
Yes. And I got full points for both. And I actually I gained 2 points on his 100-point lead. So
yeah, it was amazing. But anyway, that's always a good read. You can check it out on our website and see how they did it each week. So stwdd.com, and then look up at the top. Actually, it's always one of the featured ones. So, All right, my friends, the best part of the podcast in some people's eyes, the part whenever Dwayne gets totally destroyed, although I'm not losing as bad this time.
The Mikko Challenge, an ongoing battle of memory power and observation skills between the two Ds of Survivor podcasting, David and Dwayne. Now mates, chivvy along, I'm off to see a man about a dog.
Are we ever going to find out what kind of dog it is?
I don't know. That's just a common expression in the UK.
Oh, you know, I completely forgot about this challenge until you mentioned it in the opening. Now I wish I'd finished my second watching. Meanwhile, you're telling me to shush. I'm trying to watch.
Yeah. Hey, Dwayne, the score after the second episode of the Mikko Challenge is David, 23.5 points. Dwayne, 21 points. Boom! I'm only 2 points behind you.
2.5.
Nice. I'm sorry, 2.5.
You gotta have the half.
Not much to say from last week because there was no Mikko Challenge. Cass did a fantastic job. Since David got one more question this week, I recommend that Dwayne will start the first question for David. So guess what? I'm going first to you.
Uh-oh.
Here you go, David. Quote number 1. Stick with us, big guy.
I'm going to say that was Deb talking to Peter.
No, that was Dr. Joe to Caleb, so he didn't pass out.
Oh, gosh. So, like, every production member is going to be a candidate now for...
Stick with us, big guy.
All right, your quote number 1. You ready?
Woo, I'm ahead already.
What? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
That was the quote.
Oh. The quote is, what? Are you kidding me?
That's what it is. We are some coughing fools tonight.
What? Are you kidding me? Who would have said that? Let's see. It wasn't her. It wasn't her. It wasn't him because he's gone. It wasn't him. May have been her. I'm going to say Alicia.
Actually, I think it was Anna, but let me find it because I lost the page. It was Anna. Her reaction on Caleb getting pulled from the game.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Actually, I remembered it when you started saying it.
I remember that now. Dadgummit, I should have gotten that. All right, number 2. This is going to be fun.
Oh, that's when they walked into the challenge.
I couldn't tell who said it.
I couldn't either. So I'm going to say, I think it was Brains walking in. So I'm going to say Joe.
He says it was Caleb right before the reward challenge, which would make sense.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Wow, the chat room has really gone on a little rabbit trail. Which we
they do about this time. We usually lose them about this time. So quote number 2, take a breath.
Oh, that's the quote. Take
Yes,
a breath. That was that was Jason.
Right. Yep.
Yes.
I gave you that. Yep. To calm down Scott during the reward challenge.
Like a boom, boom, like a boom, 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 chaka like a number 3. He'll be fine. Number 3. He'll be fine. Boom.
I want to say that was also Anna. Tell Michelle he'll be fine.
That was Nick to comfort his tribe mates after the evacuation.
Wow. Too distraught during that time to pick up people. Okay, here we go. Number 3. This is the real deal.
This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Ty.
Nope. I thought you were going to get this one. It's Caleb in his last words. So I guess it was like at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right, Tina. I got my groove back.
You are going to pass me in this week because you're going to like your next few. Next.
All right, you ready? Number 4. I've done a lot of stupid stuff in my life.
Oh, that's Deb.
That's right. Debbie in her confessional about her daughters.
Yep. It's another crying episode, crying scene.
That's right.
All right, number 4. I gathered my intelligence.
I gathered. Oh, hold on. I almost had it. That was Debbie.
Yes.
Yes.
All
right. Like that one. Number 5. Woo! Coffee?
Anna.
Number 5. That's Anna reacting to the reward. Way to go.
Sooner or later, I know I was going to get it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5. Like a turtle birthing an egg.
Ooh. That was Jeff.
Exactly. Who was he talking about?
He was talking about Sydney crawling under the log.
Oh, I was going to give you an extra half a point, but it was about Deb. You're talking about Deb.
You can't give me an extra half point. It's not in your power, David.
But if you'd gotten the double anyway.
Number 6. I feel sorry for her. Number 6. I feel sorry for her.
I'm going to say that's somebody talking about Sydney, and I'm going to guess it was a brain. I'm going to say Aubrey.
No, sir. That was Scott at Tribal Council talking about Alicia.
Oh my goodness. Not even in the right segment. All right, number 6 for you. Well, that was something.
Well, that was something. Oh, that could be anybody. I have absolutely no idea who that is. What is that sound I'm hearing from your side?
It's the Mac. There's a little bumblebee inside.
Wow. Well, that was something. I will say that is, I have no idea. Alicia.
No, it was actually the first line of the entire episode. It's when the brains went back to camp and it was Neil.
Oh.
It's another one of those you had to know because I don't think you could really tell who said it.
Oh, yeah. I actually thought Peter said that.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't think he said it, but I wasn't sure who said it.
All right. What number are we on?
7?
Number 7. Number 7. At the end of the day, I'm proud of myself. Boy, that Mac is dying over there.
I know. Well, I know. It's going to go off in a second. At the end of the day, I'm proud. That's I'm going to guess it's either Oh gosh, I'm actually gonna guess it's Alicia.
Yes, it is. And
I was
I
thinking
gotta tell
Caleb.
you, the chat room is quite surprised at how poorly you are doing. You are disappointing so many people. In fact, anyway, I'm not even going to tell you that. All right, number 7 for me.
Why are they putting answers up?
As your Mac dies.
Oh yeah, this might be your last question. Number 7. I'm physically very weak right now.
I'm physically very weak right now. That would be all of them. Physically very weak right now. Gosh, I really don't have any idea. I'm going to say Alicia again. Maybe I'll get it right one of these times.
No, it was during the recap from last week, and it was Liz.
Ouch! That's not fair,
No,
Martin.
that's tough.
Martin. Wow.
Really pulling out the old quotes.
Number 8, bring it home. I know who said that. I know who said that.
I'm gonna say Deb when they took the balls to the Chuck E. Cheese thing.
Nope, it was Neil. Whenever they were bringing.
Oh yeah, he was cheering.
Yep.
Oh, he was cheering. Yep. All right, number 8. Come on, keep moving.
Come on, keep moving. Alicia?
No, it was Neil cheerleading from the sidelines. There's a pattern forming here.
Yeah. Number 9.
I'm getting the first question. That's not fair.
Yeah. Number 9. I'm okay. Number 9. I'm okay.
Oh, wait. I think Deb said that more, so I'm gonna go with Deb.
I'm okay with Sydney responding to Jeff. Feels.
That was my first answer, and I stopped.
Oh, number 9 for me.
Hang in there, Caleb.
Hang in there, Caleb?
Yep.
That was either Joe or Jeff. I'm going to say Jeff.
It was Ty while they were in the sand digging for the bags.
I mean, Ty.
Okay, next.
Dwayne, someone writes, Rion Deo writes, maybe Dwayne should get a rest every now and then. He's doing great at the Mikko challenge. Extra rest days.
Oh, that means I got to find another guest co-host next week. Okay. I can do that.
All right. Number 10. I did not expect that.
Oh, Peter.
No, that was Anna reacting to Liz's boot.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I really need to watch these better a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 10. Come on, baby. Let's go, girlfriend. Come on. You got it.
You on your first date.
Hello.
Please read that to me again.
Come on, baby. Let's go, girlfriend. Come on. You got it.
I'm going to say Debbie.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like her.
Like that. Yeah.
Number 11. I guess you would have to call me the mastermind.
Well, that was Deb, but I think I was supposed to get 10. No, you're right. Yeah.
Number 11. I guess you would have to call me the mastermind. Who is that?
Debbie.
Debbie, that's right.
Number 11. Alicia, just focus.
Ooh, that was Jason.
Ooh, that was Sydney.
No, it wasn't. It was Jason.
The humidity challenge. It was.
He said, "Shut the beep up and just focus."
Just dig. He said, "Just dig." She was. I think it was at the rope challenge. Sydney. Yeah, Sydney in the humidity challenge.
Yeah. Now on the chat room, they're accusing you of drinking too many Coronas while you watch the show because you're doing so poorly.
That's impossible. I don't think you're that far ahead of me.
Number 12. We still have a long way to go.
Really? Compared to your number 12, we can tell who Martin's a fan of.
Oh, stop it.
We still have a long way to go. We still have a long way to go. I'm going to say it's Probst.
I'm going to say it's Ty.
Oh, I thought about Ty, but I don't remember him saying that when he first did his confessional.
By the way, according to Tina in our chat group, there is a lot of talk of Ty's apparel, and that's all I'm saying on that.
I said the same thing last night. I'm like, does he have anything other than undergarments?
I just think he brought a cup. You know how the baseball players wear cups?
Yeah.
That's what happened. All right, number 13.
Number 12. You want your number 12?
Yes, I do. Sorry, I got distracted.
This is not me. This is a quote. I need a beer.
Oh,
Exactly.
Was,
yeah. Oh, please.
Oh, was
please.
that? Oh, who was that? Was that Caleb when he
3, 2.
No,
No, it was
Peter,
not Caleb.
Peter.
You missed. Time ran out. You missed your shit, Caleb.
Peter?
Okay. Number 13. Why I got an extra one. I guess he knew that yours was so easy. I need an extra one, even though I'm going to miss it.
Rion says, please, board shorts for guys should be mandatory. And they were giving me the answers, but I already knew them, so it's okay. Number 13, for each correct name, you get 1 point. All right? For each correct name, you get 1 point. Number 13, third time is a charm. You had 2 weeks to prepare for this, so maybe, but probably not. For the last time, what are the 3 tribe names?
I had them last week, all printed out and ready to go, and then we didn't end up not doing the challenge.
Well, you got them now?
Nope.
You got a guess?
Toe dang, toe long, and toe wrong. So I don't know.
You were so close. It's toe tang.
Toe tang.
Chanlo and Gondal or
Whatever.
Gandalf.
You know what? As soon as Probe starts calling them by those names, I'll learn those names. But he has not been calling them by those names.
Hey, but to be fair, he's giving you 3 opportunities.
He's giving me, he would have given me 4, but I would have been ready on number 3, but I wasn't ready on number 4.
By the way, good news. Buff USA just emailed me. I'm getting my tribe buffs, including the merge buff, tomorrow, and you're getting yours on Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah. And anybody that wants 10% off the buffs, you can go to on our website, go to one of the podcast pages or whatever, not on the main page, but go to one of the links and you'll find at the top left Survivor buffs, 10% off when you use the promo code Survivor Talk 10. So there you go.
All right. Number 13, for each correct answer, you get 1 point, 3 at the max. Which jobs were shown in Debbie's confessional?
What?
Yeah. Which jobs were shown? So I guess when they put her name, they put her jobs at the bottom.
Oh.
They listed different jobs. So you get 3 point max.
Engineer, chemist, and mom. No, it wouldn't be mom. And water expert.
All right. You got 1, chemist. The other 2 were waitress and civil air patrol captain.
Rion, to answer your question, you can get previous season buffs on Buff USA.
If they're available, yeah.
Yeah, if they're available. Number 14, David. For each correct name, you get 1 point, 1 maximum point. How many rope puzzle pieces were used in the immunity challenge for 1 puzzle?
Let's see.
I think you could probably
I'm going to say 10.
The answer is 9.
Because there was 3 and 2 at the fence. There must have been 2 and 2 in the water.
Yeah, because the way I figured it out was there was 1 big long one in the middle, and then there was either 3 or 4 on each side. So I figured 4. So
I'm like Martin. It wasn't very good TV to follow that puzzle there being made.
Oh, okay.
All right. Number 14. How many balls in total were thrown in the air in the transition from Jeff explaining the reward challenge to the actual competition?
10.
No, it was 12. I actually got this one right because it was 6 balls per thing.
Oh, I thought it was 5.
The reason I knew this was that when I went back and watched this challenge, I almost stopped watching. But when it got to the end of the dream team, the guy had 5 balls in. He had 1 left to go. And I could have sworn Probe said that's 5 towards immunity. So I'm wondering, 1, was this an immunity challenge originally, or do they just call it immunity when the dream team's playing it?
Huh, maybe.
That's what it sounded like. He might not have said that, but that's what it sounded like.
All right, number 15. For each correct name, you get 1 point, 4 points maximum.
I need them all.
Who gave Jeff the immunity idol before the challenge, and who took the idol after the immunity challenge?
Goodness. Let's see. I'm going to say, let's say Anna gave it to him from the beauty, and Julia took it from him for the beauty. And then I'll say, I'll say Aubrey gave it to him for the brains. No, wait a minute. They didn't win last week. That's right. It was a Brawn. So somebody from Brawn. I'm gonna say Alicia gave it to him from the Brawn, and Peter took it from the brains.
Sydney and Anna gave it to him, and
got
Joe
one.
and Julia got it. So you got 2 right.
Oh, I got 2.
Yeah.
Joe. Oh, Joe got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, here we go.
All right, here comes 5 points for you. 5 points max. Why you get a 5-point question? Maybe that's why I got an extra question, because you get a 5-point question. Who sat out during this week's episode?
Neil, Julia, Anna, and then they set out people in the immunity challenge, but I have no idea who they set out. Okay, hold on. They wouldn't have set out anybody. Okay. Okay, 1 from Brain, 1 from Brawn, 1 from Beauty. Wait. Wouldn't there be 6 people? Wait, no.
Because Caleb was gone.
Oh yeah. That's right. And then I'm gonna say I've already said Anna and Julia. So Michelle and Aubrey. No. Should I have said yes? Joe.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm probably wrong. Go ahead.
I'll give you the option if you want to go with your original choice.
I'm sticking with Joe. That's what I said.
Well, you got 4 out of 5.
Was it Aubrey?
No, it was Ty. Ty instead of Michelle.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. Sweet. All right, David, your last question.
Oh, good. I hope it's for 10 points.
1 point maximum.
What?
Well, we get the same options, same amount of points.
Well, we don't get the same questions. Go ahead.
This is so freaking easy. Who said the title of the episode?
Science Deal Delivered was Jason.
Yes. Bruce Wright. Holy Monty Hale, David. No, Holy Monty Hall, David. Are you sure? Haha. All right. So, yes, you got that one right. My turn. Or do I not have another one?
That was your extra. That was my extra question.
Oh, okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you, Mikko, for the Mikko challenge.
Or actually, thank you, Martin, for the Mikko challenge.
That's what I meant. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Mikko, for inventing it. Thank you, Martin, for continuing it. All right. We do not have the results for the D&D Survivor
She
challenge.
said that the confessional count is not up, and she wasn't comfortable posting it without that. So we are more than happy to wait to hear about how my team is dominating.
Absolutely. So for those that wanted to hear the bear joke, I will tell it at the end. But anyway, thanks so much for listening. You can get even more D&D by joining our always family-friendly Facebook group at stwdd.com/Facebook. And now we are at the end. And so I want to ask, do you like our show? Do you, in fact, really like it and look forward to it each week? If so, whoops. Oh, yeah. Then David and I want to ask if you would consider becoming a D&D patron. So what is a D&D patron? Basically, for as little as $1 a month, your patronage helps us make the show better, pay bills, and take our wives out on the occasional date to make up for the time we diss them on the show. For example, I went out there to get a drink of water, and my wife started talking to me, and I said, I don't have time to talk right now. Now, as a way of saying thank you to those who go above and beyond, we have rewards, or we like to call them patron perks, for different levels of support. And starting with the $2 a month pledge, David and I record a weekly 5 to 15-minute video called D&D Extra. It's like an extra on a movie DVD you buy, only it's Survivor Talk with D&D Extra. We talk a little bit more about Survivor before the next episode, and then whatever else we decide, usually some off-the-wall topic. David's got the topic for this week. So for those of you who are $2 and above patrons, you get to watch a little extra D&D during the week. We have other patron perks, but of course, the big one is coming on April 3rd, a D&D patron-only conference call with us, Kelly Wentworth, Dale Wentworth, Jeff Varner, and one more of Kelly's friends. So, and all active patrons at the end of March will get the unlisted video address and telephone number. And of course, active means that your pledge went through. So if you're still here, okay, good. Then did you know that we're Amazon affiliates? The easiest way to support our show at no extra cost to you is to simply shop Amazon using our Amazon links on our website or our Facebook group. Some people create a bookmark or make a shortcut on their desktop to stwdd.com/Amazon. If you don't use Amazon Prime, try it for free, 30 days. We have links to it on our website. So thanks for tuning into our show, subscribing on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube, and thanks for being part of the D&D family. David, now you know why I'm saving that to the end every week. But you know what? If you don't ask, people don't know it's there, right?
That's right.
Do you have any final words on the episode?
No, I'm ready to move on to the next episode.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Little Better Call Saul talk, just real quick. I felt like this last episode was more of a kind of a, we got to tell you these things to get to the next episode.
Yeah.
Remember how Lost would have those sometimes? You'd be like, this is a filler episode.
Yeah. It was kind of like somebody's backstory, but I like the Mike character, though. I liked him in Breaking Bad. So I like following him.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Ooh, he got pummeled.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. If I were him, I would have been worried that the police weren't coming.
Yeah.
You know? All right. All right. This joke is called the bear joke. And it's my son's favorite joke, my oldest son's favorite joke I've ever told him. I will tell you, it could be, I wouldn't let your 8-year-old hear it or your 12-year-old. So it does have a little bit of suggestion in it. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Little fair warning. All right. Are you ready, Will? The giant? He's not even in the chat room anymore. But here it is. So this guy goes hunting. All right. And he goes hunting for a bear. Do you remember this joke, David?
No.
Oh, good. Guy goes hunting for a bear, and he's hunting for, what's the smallest bear? Like a little brown bear, right?
A baby bear, yeah.
No. He's going for a brown bear, right?
Okay.
So he's out hunting for a brown bear, and all of a sudden, this bear comes out. This huge, what's like the really biggest bear you can think of? A polar bear.
Okay.
Right. Polar bear comes out and says, "Stop hunting for the baby brown bears." And he goes, "Why?" And then the big bear goes, "Okay, I caught you hunting. I'm telling a horrible joke. I'm going to start over.
Okay.
Start over. Zip, zip. Guy goes out hunting. He kills a brown bear. That's it.
Oh, okay.
After he kills the brown bear, the big polar bear comes out and goes, "You just killed a brown bear. I give you two options. One, I kill you right now. Or two, you let me have my way with you and I let you go." So the hunter decides, well, I don't want to die, so go ahead and have your way with me, big polar bear. Mm-hmm. All right. The next year, the guy decides to go hunting again. And he goes hunting, and he kills a little bigger brown bear. Polar bear comes out again. "It's you again. I give you two choices. One, I kill you right now. Or two, you let me have my way with you." And the hunter says, okay. I don't want to die. You can have your way with me. All right. Third year, hunter goes out into the woods, kills another bear. Polar bear comes out and says, "You don't come here for the hunting, do you?"
By the second year, I started to remember the joke.
You don't come here for the hunting. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you came on early, we always have pre-show going on. That's a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, David, look at our new pre-show. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? See it? David,
sweet.
See it?
He sent it to you while we were on the air?
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We love doing it. So glad that you came and watched. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.
See ya.